Hey everybody, it's my new video, and in this one, I hope you all liked my other video, My Life at the Bars. I made that video when I was at the hospital trying to find a new home, but now I'm in my new home, and I want to do this right. My last video, I talked about my life at the bars, mostly with women karaoke. My life at Steel City. Anyway, this is my life at the bars, part two. My life at billiards karaoke. Okay, it starts off. I walk in. This was like a night before the karaoke, and me myself, I am a really good pool player. I play pool like I used to hustle people, like make them think I didn't know how to play pool, tell them to put more up on the table, like put 20, 30 here, and then boom, I just clear the table, because I'm pool shark. I'm the best pool shark ever. Really good at pool. Anyway, I walked in and I just said, well, how much for how much? And she's like, Then I started playing alone, playing by myself. Started playing by myself, playing with myself, you know, um, just started playing with myself, and I was just like practicing, just testing my skills, and I was playing eight ball all by myself, right? I was playing eight ball, made it seem like I was just having fun, knocking the balls, right? And then this guy comes up to me, and this is the first time I hustled at billiards. He comes up to me, and he's like, Want to play a game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Let's make it interesting. $5 a ball." And I was like, "Okay, man, $5 a ball." And then I made it look like I didn't know how to play. I was like, and he put down like $20 right there. And then I was playing. And I told him he pretty much said, "You don't know how to play, man. I don't know if we should play for money." And I said, "Don't worry. I know how to do this. We're playing eight ball. That's all I play is eight ball, right? I don't know nine ball. I know how to play nine ball, but..." And then he won, and I said, "Ah, geez, you won." Then I told him straight up, "You want to make it? You want to up the ante, $10 a ball?" And he's like, "Well, you don't know how to play, man." And I told him, "I know I don't know how to play. I'll give you more of my money. Don't worry, you got free money. Just let's raise the stakes. Put up at least $100." And he's like, "I hate to do this to you. Do you have $100?" And I told him, "I have $100 right here, man." And he was like, okay, what's your game?" And I said, "Same thing, eight ball, man. Eight ball, you know what I'm saying?" And then he's like, "Okay, let's play." Right away, I freaking hustled him, man. I cleared the fucking table like fucking nothing, man. And then I told him, thank you. I told him, "Thank you, but I'll take that $100 plus the 10 for each ball." And then he's like, "You fucking hustled me." And I'm like, "That's all part of the fucking game, man." That was the first thing that happened when I went into billiards. And then the second time I went to billiards, they were all gambling, all the ladies. And this woman had to have been 50 or 51, whatever. And I walked up to her while she was playing, and I'm like, "Did you get lucky?" And she's like, "No, just, you know, bell, and all that." And I'm like, she's like, "Bar." And I'm like, "Wow, you could get lucky." I tried hinting her, right? I said, "You could get lucky." And she turns to me and says, "I've been around." And I told her, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "I know you're trying to want to get lucky tonight with me." And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "My car is parked outside." And I told her, "Your car's parked outside?" And she's like, "Yeah, do you smoke the weed?" I said, "Yeah, I smoke the weed, baby." And she's like, come on, let's go party. And I was like, holy shit. And then she was like 51 years old, right? And I went on her car. She said, here, I got a pipe. Here, I got a pipe. Why don't you take a couple of hits while I rub you? And I'm like, yeah, fucking right. And she starts rubbing me and everything, and I'm like, I can't even hold the fucking pipe. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fuck, stop touching my fucking dick. I'm trying to take a puff. And she's like, oh my God, hurry up. We can't do it here. Just keep smoking. I'll drive somewhere private. And I told her, you're going to see my private. Definitely you're going to see my private, man. And then we go drive all the way to a dark area. And right away she's like, I go to the bars all the time. Why don't I ever see you there? And I told her, at the time I was young, right? I told her, because, I'm 22, and it's my first, first karaoke, I do karaoke at Steel City now and then, And she's like, you do know I'm 51. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm 21. And she's like, I'm old enough to be your grandmother. And I told her, I'm just happy you can realize that. And she was like, well, what if how about instead of fucking, how about instead of fucking, how about I just start sucking? And I was like, okay, sure, man. You can just go for it, man. And she just starts doing it, and I'm fucking trying to light a pipe. All I care about is getting high while she's fucking... And then, she said, oh my God, do you live far? And I was like, I live in Escasoni, man. And she was like, how far is that? And I said, about a 45-minute drive. And she was like, do you have your own apartment? And I'm like, why are you saying that? Are you married? And she's like, well, divorced. And I said, well, I live with my parents, but, can we still go to your place? And she was like, well, I don't really like letting strangers in. And I'm like, stranger? In my mind, I'm thinking, stranger, weren't you just... But I said that in my mind, right? And she was like, you want to go back to the bar? Every time you'll see me, every time you see me there at billiards, I'll fucking suck you every fucking time. And then when they started to karaoke, this was another story. When I started to karaoke, I met this man. I met this guy, man. He was friggin' awesome. I started talking to him. He'd buy me beer left and right, man. He'd buy me friggin' beer left and right, man. He'd buy me beer left and right. And I'd be like, holy jeez, man, where do you get the money for all this beer, man? And he was like, I get the money, man. He says he has a good job, works for all these people, and that's when I started getting into the bartenders, like, he was always leaving tips to her. I started talking to her, after he left, after we talked, he told me, like, I'm his best friend, even though I just met him. He said I'm his best friggin' friend. Even though I just met him, he thinks I'm his best friend. And then he's like, wow. And then he starts talking to the bartender. I could tell they're flirting right off the bat, man. And then I just said, hey, do you guys got karaoke night? And they said, yeah, we do. This guy runs it and everything. I was like, wow, I'll come to your karaoke. Don't worry, I love a good karaoke, you know. And she was like, I like karaoke too. I hope I can see you sing. And I told her, you'll see me sing, baby. And she's like, will I? You know, at this time we were alone. That guy was gone. It was only me and her. And I told her, so you want to hear me sing? And she's like, I'd love to hear you sing. You got those Elvis eyes. And I was like, Elvis eyes? Are you fucking serious? You're saying these eyes look like Elvis? I didn't say that to her, but that's what I was thinking, right? And I'm like, wow. So, how long have you been working here? And she's like, oh, I just started about a month ago, you know. And I told her, well, you know, I'm a young guy, you know. I'm turning 23, but I think 23 or 22. I'm not sure. You know, my memory's messed. Anyway, I said, you guys get a huge crowd at karaoke? And she's like, we do pretty good, you know. And I told her, you know, I started telling her, man, you know what? Of all the bartenders I've seen, you take the cake. You're very, very beautiful. And she was like, thank you so much. You know, I hear that a lot from guys, but I can tell you're one of the good ones. And I was like, I know, eh? I'm a really good one, you know. I'm good when it counts, you know. And then I kept telling her, you know, you're freaking beautiful, you know, you freaking look nice, you know. And she was like, I said, you're freaking beautiful, you look nice, eh? And she was like, you know, I'm trying to make it into college right now, and, you know, kind of have a boyfriend, and I'm a bartender, and just try and make my way through college, you know? And I said, yeah, I know. I was half buzzed. That's around the time I started drinking. And, you know, I was half cut. I was half drunk. And I told her, well, you know, I'm gonna go. It's getting late. I have to go, but you know, I'll probably see you here at the karaoke night. What time's the karaoke? And she tells me karaoke. I give her $5 tip, and I told her, you need it more than me. And I left. Then when I came back, the karaoke was there, right? I signed my name and typed in the song My Own Prison by Creed. That was the first, not My Own Prison by Creed. I sang that. That's the first song I sang at Billiards karaoke. I sang it. I met the karaoke guy. The karaoke guy was freaking nice to me all the time, man. The karaoke guy was the best, man. He let me sing anything. And then when I sing Elvis songs, it's only a small bar. It's not big. Anyway, I'm staring at the ladies singing fucking sexy voice. I have sexy voice too. And I was singing to her, and she was like, I was looking at her, and she's doing this to her chest, eh? She's going like that, giving me horny look. She's like, and then I was like, holy jeez, man. I kept singing it to her, staring at her, and she was like, oh my God, rubbing her hair back. And after I sang an Elvis song, you know, she said, come to my table. I went to her table, and she was like, wow, you're a good singer. And I'm like, yeah, I am a good singer, aren't I? What's your name? And she tells me so-and-so. And, you know, she tells me so-and-so, and we start talking, and all this starts getting pretty heavy. And she's like, well, my brother is gonna pick me up soon, and he doesn't like people in his car. But do you want to go? Do you want to go at the back billiards before he gets here? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. Took her at the back of billiards. It was nighttime too. She went back to billiards, and I'm like, why did you want me to come out here? And right away she grabs my jacket and starts kissing me and making out, and we're just fucking, I'm grabbing her friggin' ass, right? And she's like, She's like, I don't think we could fuck, man. And I told her why, and she's like, he could be here any minute, man. And I was like, here then, just let me fucking feel you up or something, man. Jeez. I was happy karaokeing until you got me right horny. And then she's like, here, I'll just make out with you a little bit more. And we started making out. And then she's, right while we're making up, a car pulls up, right? And she's like, that's my friggin' brother. Anyway, I had fun, Thanks for, making a woman feel happy. And I told her, it's my pleasure. And then the other karaoke night I was there. I was talking to this group of people. We were all talking, chatting. And they're all like, hey guys, let's drink, man. Hey man, what's your name, man? He was half drunk, right? He was like, what's your name, man? And I'm like, my name's Thomas. He's like, you want some beer, man? I'm fucking rich, man. I could afford fucking pitchers, I could afford 5 of those right now, man. He's half cut, drunk. Surprised he didn't get freaking kicked out of the fucking bar. Anyway, he's like, we're going to drink this pitcher. After we drink this pitcher, we're going to play pool. And I'm like, I didn't want to tell him. I told him, man, even if I'm half buzzed, I'm still good at pool. I wanted to tell him that, and then we drank the pitcher. I get half buzzed, man. I get freaking buzzed. I never drink to get drunk. I'm one of those real beer drinkers. I drink because I like the taste. I only drink till I get buzzed. I don't drink till I get drunk. I've only been drunk 3 times in my life. And we drank, started playing pool and everything, and then, the guy let me drink a pitcher, But I'm happily sober. I am happy sober, 5 years now. I am sober. And then after I met with that other guy again, the cool guy, he's also a rich man. He keeps freaking flashing money around and all that. And every time I'm at billiards, it's even open in the day. Every time I go there, he's always there. But when he's not there, I'm talking to the bartenders, and they're always women, man. I'm always talking to them, and every time I talk to them, they're like, every time I talk like sexy talk, I would let them know I'm available, right? And all that. And they'd always tell me, I'm a bartender, I'm a bartender. You know what I mean? And I'm like, sexy voice, right? I'm like, bartender, eh? She's like, bartender. And then and I was like, you want to go bartend in the bathroom? And she's like, I'm on fucking duty. And then the next day, I found out she freaking got fired by my friend that's always there. He's always buying beer. He always buys me beer. And then there was this one night, this woman bartender this guy hangs out with, but she never freaking, every time I don't even want to hit on her. I mean, I tried to hit on her, but she'd always say she always rejected me every time I she wouldn't be like rejecting. She'd say, Thomas, be nice. And she's like, don't freak me out. What a bartender, eh? And then I told her, I'm not freaking you out. I just want to get to know you, I want to get to know the inside of you, And she's like, you'll never see the inside of me. And then my friend comes in, but then this other woman comes in, man. And she kind of got a little bit of weight on her, but she's fucking horny. She's freaking hitting on everybody in the freaking bar. Not hitting on him, but she knew the bartender. And she tells me and my friend, she shows us her tits, right? And she doesn't show them, but she's like, here, feel them. And the bartender tells her, right, hey, don't do that. And she's like, don't worry. And he grabs her freaking tits. And then she turns to me and I grab him and I'm like fucking horny right away. Like horny right away. And then I'm like, wow, they're nice. She doesn't pull them down. She just leaves the shirt, but she lets us feel. And then I talked to her outside, and I didn't even realize at the time, but she was actually begging me to come with her in her car. But to me, I thought like she was talking about the other guy, and I told her, if I'm, where to find me, I didn't know at the time. I was young and stupid. I didn't know at the time that she was begging me to come to her car. But she was sending me mixed messages that sounded like she was talking about someone else. But then I found out she was talking about me the next day. The next day I talked to him, and he said, right, she was fucking down here freaking crying, saying you rejected her. And I told him I didn't reject her. What, you mean she was freaking begging me to come to her house? And he was like, yeah, Thomas, you just missed out on some pussy. What happens if I see her again? Just straight up tell her, man. I'll freaking go home with you. Tell her, right? The last time I was around the last couple days before I stopped going to billiards, I met up with this guy. He was always gambling at the machine. We got to talk, and every time I needed a cigarette, he'd always give me one for free. Every time we went out for smoke, he'd give me 5 or 6. And we started talking, and he said he was my best friend, man. Same with the other guy. He said, you're my new best friend, man. Seriously, man, I never heard anybody talk with such respect than you. And I told him, I do have respect. I have respect for ladies. And he was like, well, I'll buy you 2 beer after I fucking finish this. I'm up to 500. I got 500 on me right now. It's in this fucking machine. Anyway, that's my life at the bars. My life with bars, part 2. Man, this video is long. 23 minutes. 40 seconds. Wow. 23 minutes, 45 seconds.